He's Dave Roberts back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Dave?
Rich, I'm doing great, man, and it's good to kind of reconnect with you. And, looking forward to this Yankee series. It's going to be fun. Dodgers, Yankees.
It's old school. I'll tell you what, again, I'm a 50-year-old man, and I fell in love with baseball in the middle of the 70s, Dave, and the Yankee-Dodgers World Series are memory. I grew up in New York City, and those Yankee-Dodgers series of 77, 78, 81 were as classic a series as you possibly can get, and what a matchup. I'm so looking forward to this weekend.
No, it's great, and I think that, with younger fans, obviously you can appreciate the markets, but I think that even, the generation before us, when you can look back to the two teams in New York, and to kind of what you're talking about where Clayton just passed Sandy in wins, and you just talk about the Dodgers of old, and obviously Sandy was in Los Angeles, but just kind of the generational and the pinstripes and the Dodgers, and these are things that make interleague so much fun for me.
Yeah, it is just, again, like as you pointed out, a lot of old, and what's old is new again. You mentioned, again, Clayton Kershaw passing Sandy, and we all know very few baseball players from back then you could just name by their first name, you know who they're talking about. But Sandy Koufax, most wins by a left-handed pitcher in Dodgers franchise history, is now Clayton Kershaw. He seems to be on such a roll of late. Dave, are you giving any consideration because of how much room you have to spare on your leads in division and atop the league of perhaps backing off a little bit, getting him ready for October?
Yeah, you know what? I think that's a fine line, Rich, because obviously the competitor in every player, whether it be position player or specifically to Clayton, they want to keep that edge. And you never want to lose that edge, but you definitely want to monitor workload. And even last night, we took him to 90 pitches and 6 innings, and it was a kind of a grind for him. And I think in another situation, you might want to push him to 110. But I think that there's really no cost. I mean, there's really no gain, and little cost when you're looking at where we're at in the division and to kind of save some bullets for the postseason. But yeah, that's going to be something that is going to be a balance, Richie, for us all the way through, is to keep our guys sharp, but also manage that workload.
Yeah, I mean, your starting pitching has been absolutely on fire. Unbelievable. So short of snapping your fingers and getting to October in the next 5 seconds, what is your job to manage? Again, you're not that's why you call you a manager. What is your job to manage, Dave?
Well, I think the managing part of it is keeping guys relevant and current as far as our roster, as far as more with the positional depth of keeping guys taking at bats and keeping them sharp, but also just keeping them focused on each day. And I think that we've got a lot of good pieces and a culture in place and great players, obviously, that understand that. And obviously, you have two teams going in different directions as far as where they're at, and the Blue Jays and the Yankees coming this series this weekend. But to keep guys focused on the Blue Jays right now, who are a talented team, and don't take that for granted, and to, and I think do that every day until we get through October. I think that's kind of the managing piece of it.
It's amazing how many sons of players that you would, I'm sure, call colleagues, right, that the Blue Jays have. It's ridiculous, Dave, right?
It's ridiculous, and I will say this, is that you see that swagger, that confidence, and that, Vlad Jr., grew up in a Major League clubhouse, Kevin Biggio, and obviously
Bo Bichette,
who homered a couple times last night.
Right.
These guys grew up in big league clubhouses, so that swagger, that confidence, there's little unknown for these guys, and they've really performed. And it's a young man's game, and for me, it's really fun to watch guys that I played against now managing against. It's kind of crazy,
isn't it? Though, I mean, I was wondering because it makes me feel old just seeing Bo Bichette. And by the way, son of Dante has got some pop, and grandson of Yaz has got some pop. I mean, they're all right there in front of you. These kids that are just balling out right now, Dave. It's amazing.
They are. It's fun. It's fun to watch. And what's also fun to watch is obviously these young kids are doing their thing and arriving and coming quickly and performing. But it's also a lot of fun for me to see veterans around the league, specifically in our clubhouse, really embrace these young players, not hate on them, just understand that these guys are talented. There's more talent in this game that there ever has been. And to watch these veteran guys kind of evolve and let these young players be who they are.
Well, you also, Dave Roberts, Dodgers manager here on the Rich Eisen Show. You also have a son of a ball player, and Cody Bellinger, who is performing very well. Very rarely do I stop an interview to play sound full, as we say in the television business, a call from the night before. But I have to do that with you, Dave Roberts, right now. Here is Cody Bellinger trying to leg out a triple, and then his legs almost came out from his pants. Here we go. Roll it.
Runners go, and it's lined into right center. Kershaw home, Pollock home, Muncy home, Bellinger streaking for third, and tagged out to end the inning. Almost lost his pants, but he got his 100 RBIs, got a standing ovation, and it's 8-2 Dodgers.
That's Dan Schulman. Interesting, Skipper, that he used the term streaking for third, right? Wouldn't you say, Dave?
Yeah, Danny, that's a great call by Dan Schulman, and that's a two-out double. Was trying to leg out a triple and lost his pants. So, the clubhouse guys had to do the belt again, but I'm sure there's a lot of 20-something ladies that were pretty excited about it, too.
What was the reaction in the dugout?
You know what? It's one of these things when you know Cody, expect the unexpected. He's just such a lovable guy, goofy guy, and so to lose his pants on 100 RBIs, I guess it's well worth it.
That's right. It's a milestone RBI too. He lost.
No doubt.
What has he been able to do to just turn it on? I mean, he has really turned it up, Dave. There's no question. He's turned it to, I guess, the Spinal Tap 11 this year. What happened, would you say?
You know what? I think the thing is that the game slowed down, and I think that the way you can slow the game down is by having a routine and eliminating noise. And obviously nowadays when there's expectations with him, when you're talking about MVP and when you're playing for a winning ball club and you're trying to play to win baseball games, I think that makes it easier to not focus on individual kind of success. But also, you saw it last night where he goes for the homer, takes a big swing, but can shorten up to hit the ball to get a base hit, which he did in his first at bat, and then also to drive a couple runs in, a few runs in with the ball into the full side gap. So he has that different club in his bag now, and that allows him to still slug, but also drive a run when he needs to do that.
I kind of know the answer to the question when I ask it anyway. Is that the MVP of the National League in 2019?
Oh, hands down. And then I love Christian, but when you're talking about offensive production for a team that I feel is the best team in baseball, and also now, Rich, you're talking about the defensive side of where you're playing Gold Glove right field, which is his right now. It's a lock. It's a shoo-in. And to play Gold Glove first base, and now we've moved him to center field where he hasn't missed a beat. So the defense, the base running, when you're talking about an MVP, he checks every single box.
A few more minutes left with Dave Roberts, Dodgers manager here on the Rich Eisen Show. I was talking at the very top of the segment about Hard Knocks. Would you ever let cameras follow around the Dodgers for a while? Would you be up for something like that?
You know what? I think it's great for the game, and I think it's great for the NFL, which they've done a great job marketing. But I think for me personally, I'd love to have somebody else do it and let the Dodgers kind of just keep our nose to the grindstone and just kind of do our thing. I guess it's much under the radar as possible, but I think it's great, Richie, but I'll let the Yankees have that one.
No, well, because the Yankees are right now, a lot is going on with the Yankees and the umpires that
Booney yelling at umpires, calling his players savages. Let HBO have the Yankees. That's perfect.
The savage. Have you ever heard that line before? Calling his players?
Yeah, you know what? I love that word, and I think we got some savages in our clubhouse too. But good luck with Booney and Hard Knocks.
No, but it is. There is some, an individual on Twitter who is kind of doing all the lip reading and putting together very entertaining videos. Actually, that fans are enjoying. Just zooming in on the dugout and noticing that, again, Brett Gardner's using the bat to bash the underside of the dugout, something for which he got ejected the other day. I don't know what to make of all this.
Yeah, I don't know what really took place before that, but obviously one of those umpires, I don't know who it was, took exception to it, and that was a first, banging your bat against the top of the dugout and getting the heave-ho. So, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, we'll see what happens this weekend at Chavez Ravine.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should take a before picture of the away dugout right now, the undercarriage of the away dugout roof, Dave.
Yeah, if he does it to our dugout, we'll send him a bill.
It's like it's a rental car. I like it. Yeah, it's like it's a rental. He'll treat it like it's a rental. Dave, thanks for the time. Really appreciate it. I'll be at one of the games this weekend. I'll be one of those guys waving. So
all right,
see you
Rich.
out there.
Thanks for good catching up, and we'll see you this weekend.
Right back at you. That's Dave Roberts, Dodgers manager.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.